going on, lunatics? So we've got drama breaking out right now. I'm going to take you through that, right? Just kind of break it down, show you how this is going. Remember what we talked about yesterday? We talked about USTR and the opportunity to convert from USTC to USTR. Well, Greenpeace is now involved in the equation, and he's dumping on any and everybody. Let me break it down for you. Let me show you. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. One of the best places to support me, terracasino.io. Terraport.finance for all your meme coins, for all your utility coins in this Terra ecosystem. If you are interested, certainly go check this out. All you have to do is connect your wallet. You can start swapping. You can even swap the Believe meme coin. Thank you guys. Yesterday we had $2,500 or $2,700 in volume on terrapump.fund. So I want to say thank you guys. I appreciate that. Make sure that you are creating a meme coin. Be responsible. Have fun. Enjoy it. It's the game, right? And you can go to terraport.finance in order to. Also, this is a list of the USTC that's been burned by the BIA Lunk Validator. Week one, they're burning about 4,500 USTC per week. We're not burning a whole lot, but at least there's somebody out here who's making it a priority and making it a necessary thing. And I just realized I'm not following this gentleman. So we're going to give that a follow right there. Lunk community support stake to burn. So this is an opportunity for you. If you are interested, go check this out. Go to Lunk Burn It All right here and check it out. Do what they have set up and, help burn some of this USTC. All right, so here we go with drama. So Leonardo says we've crossed 1 million USTC pre-registered on BSC plus Terra Classic continued in just 3 hours. Continued. Congratulations on this milestone, everyone. It's a strong start for a journey to the CMM and $1. And that's where, if you want to put it in, you can do that. And he says, and Greenpeace says, come on, people. He can't repeg USTC when Binance and TFL control 75% of the entire USTC, and they are not part of this. And first of all, there is a plan for USTC. This is just not it. Don't give up your coins for this new coin, because what he says, the math don't math. Doesn't, but be careful, you've been warned. Now, he can't repeg USTC when Binance and TFL control 75% of the entire USTC. What? Listen, if you go onto the BNB, if you go into Binance, you can buy USTC. Then if you want to migrate it off there, you can do that. So what Greenpeace says is ridiculous, because guess what? It's just a wallet. So if somebody were to go onto Binance, and let's just say 75% of the supply, let's just say somebody spent $50 million on Binance to buy it. What's Binance going to do? They're not going to not sell it. So could it be moved off of that exchange? 100%. Absolutely. This is ridiculous. Or at least I'm saying that it's ridiculous because it's ridiculous, not because I think it actually is. So, but let's move on here. I never said Ceramic could repeg USTC. He cannot. No one can. It's precisely why this plan exists. It's a vampire repeg of value, not a copy of the 1,000 ideas of the past. Binance can do whatever it wants. If they take USTC back to $1, they also take the CMM into the stratosphere, generating tons of collateral and mint tons of UST1. In fact, imagine if a miracle did happen and they took USTC to $1. Do you think USTR holders would cry? Maybe they would, but it would be the tears of joy. So then, of course, they start arguing. So what's your point, Ceramic, other than you making money? You have called it a repeg. It's not an actual repeg. Maybe stop using that word, because the problem here is repeg. The problem here is not whether you can do it or not. The problem is the words that you're using, okay? And you guys, some of you are validating with this. Some of you are like, yeah, this guy's making a lot of sense. At least that's what you sound. Any money made is through participation only. The cost to build a CMM is through buying some clay or buying me a pizza for helping Ceramic. All voluntary contributions. Okay. Again, how does this help the Luna Classic in any way? See, now once the grift, once the Greenpeace, well, you're getting paid for it, bruh. And then Leonardo lays out, I'm not getting paid, actually. If you want to buy me pizza, go ahead. And then Greenpeace says, yeah, but how does this help Luna Classic in any way? I can see how it helps you, as well as how it helps Ceramic. The fact that you can't seem to answer the question directly is a red flag. There was a question asked, there was a question answered, and now he's saying, that's not the question, bro. That's not the question. You know what I mean? Like, totally. I have no idea what's, okay. Here we go. This is, Absolutely crazy. Guys, I'm going to encourage you, go read, go check out all of this. And by the way, if you disagree with me and you think the Greenpeace is right, you should validate. If you don't, you should not validate. And it's nonsensical that you do if you partake, as we say. Anyway, to the price action. A couple days ago, we talked about what could have happened right here as we were getting this significant potential for a bounce. 3 days later, we've broken down below. Now, ultimately, that's still a bullish indicator of upside momentum, but here's the problem. Problem is this. When you look at it on the daily and you look at Wintermute, and you look at this Wintermute dump that we had over here, now you're looking at that clawing back of position, and now you're seeing the breakdown. What is happening right now is the market is being shaken out, and it's being shaken to that downside because as capital is entering crypto, we're not getting clarity from the Clarity Act in the United States or anything like that. And we've seen a break in psyche. And that break in psyche is finding out that one company, in this case Wintermute, controls so much supply on so many different cryptos. And we also know that they just bought $1 billion worth of crypto while on Binance just a couple of 2 weeks ago. So after this collapse of the market, Wintermute is still the shark in the pool. And as crypto pumps, they're making money. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people are looking at it like, how long until they do it again? So there's fear that we're dealing with in the market. And until we break through that fear, we're going to be struggling. Again, we need positive momentum. Positive momentum comes from announcements of the Clarity Act, of the U.S. government reopening. You know, there's little pieces out here that could go a long way towards fixing some of these mental issues in crypto right now. But until we see those, we're going to have downward pressure and downward momentum. It doesn't mean that we can't break out. Doesn't mean that we won't get a nice pop. Doesn't mean when the U.S. government opens, we don't see this move again, which I told you a couple days ago. We need to break above the 200 and then get this thing to start switching back up there. And then we get a nice little blow off. I gave you yesterday my prediction. My prediction has gone way down, and I'm just being as honest with you as I can and as transparent as I can about my opinion, not about where we're actually going to go, just about my opinion of where we're going to go. And it's very complicated and very difficult right now. And every time we get into another range of people who bought, and by the way, you have to consider this right here is a zone that we've been in for months and months and months and months with nothing, okay? That's a consolidation range. Now, that's a range from which you can spring and have a nice, healthy upside move to, which would take you up into, say, this range right here or maybe this range right here, okay? However, what happened instead? We broke down. Now, what does that ultimately mean? That means that we're still bearish. That means there's nothing really, really good happening. Not just in Terra Luna Classic, but in the overall market. The overall market bleeding people dry, okay? Until we reach max pain, and it can be argued, by the way, that we are in max pain and that we'll have a massive recovery coming very, very soon. Max pain is subjective. You may not feel it. I might feel it. We both might feel it. Neither of us might feel it, but everybody else feels it. So it's just a question of when is max pain. And we're at the Fear and Greed Index says that we are at a max pain sort of area, an absolute chill. When we look at the overall market, we're in an uptrend in a channel right now, and we're coming towards the bottom of it. So there's still room in this range for a breakdown. By the way, I'm not perfect on this. When I'm doing it, I'm trying to hit as many data points as I can. And it could be argued right here that my data point goes up here just a little bit and that's where our bounce is ultimately. So, you can make these arguments. And also, I put this probably down too far. When you look at it from this context, you start to get a little bit better of an impression about where we actually are. Let me firm this up just a little bit and see there's that uptrend right there, clear uptrend with no line break except for this little moment right here back in April. So ultimately we're in a bullish uptrend. We're just at the bottom of the range right now. I suspect we're going to see a new all-time high coming very, very soon. Okay. Also should be noted that Bitcoin is struggling to maintain 100,000, but it is maintaining 100,000, and that should be a bullish indicator. Now, zooming out a little bit, there's a fight going on, and we're looking at downward momentum, and we see that downward momentum on Bitcoin, which leads me to believe that maybe we've got some more downside momentum getting ready to happen. Like we could be breaking down a little bit further. There might be some problems here. And by the way, there's nothing out there right now positive in the crypto market other than everything. And that's not enough. So again, we need the government open. We need the Clarity Act. We need a few motivational things. But I'll tell you what, news is that Bitcoin has been accumulating more and more and more right now than ever before. 375,000 whale wallets now. That is the most that there's ever been on Bitcoin. So I assure you, long term, this is incredibly bullish. Right now, we're watching as these markets are trying to shake you out. The lower we go, the more they buy. The more they buy, the more they trick you back in. Then you layer in on top, and some of you make a profit, but a lot of you end up losing the way that it works. That's institutional crypto 101. So that's what I expect to see happen. And Terra Luna Classic is going to be at the forefront of that. Again, I think we're going to have a nice little move here above that 200 MA, but we need market conditions to work in our favor. As volume goes, we're down 28% to 16 million, but it's good to see 16 million, despite the fact that 100 million used to be the norm. Also, USTC down 52% in trade volume to 2.87 million. Just not a lot going on right there. Burns 1.7 billion over the last 7 days. Yesterday we ended up with 220. Today only 29 million so far. Could we see something big happen? We could see something big happen. We might see something big happen, but we might not. We might be done with whatever movement they were doing here for the last bunch of days. Whatever was going on the last couple of days seems to have died down a bit. Remember, the Asian markets do a lot of the moving and burning and stuff like that. So, by today, by this time right now, we've normally seen the big move if there is a big move. So yeah, I'll let you know if something changes. And that's it. That's your update. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.